Okay, today we are playing a game on Numbani. We are playing Genji the entire way through, almost, and there is no SR for today's game because it was a placement game. And you know what that means? It means Daddy doesn't want to do any video editing, so he doesn't care what the team comp is today. Nice. Good excuse. It's a placement game. I got more excuses if you need them. My monitor isn't turned on, foot itches, power's out. I got all kinds of excuses if you want them. We are also not playing Genji the entire way through. There's like 20 seconds of Sombra towards the end of the attack round, and then we're playing a little bit of Moira, like 2 minutes of Moira at the very end of the video, so it's not all Genji, but it's basically all Genji. So let's just start the game. It would help if we pushed the right button on the keyboard. So, that's interesting, because McCree just got put to sleep in front of us, even though Genji played the deflect animation. Junkrat's also managed to kill Lucio, so that's great. But Anna's too far up, and now she's dead despite Winston's attempts to save her. Nice. So now we've got the advantage because they're missing what we would assume to be their main healer, but we've also just learned they have a Moira, so which is not really that surprising these days either. So this was a fairly risky dash. We're trying to kill Pharah, who we're not great at dealing with, except on like specific map situations. So it doesn't end up amounting to much. Also, like the deflect. Let's be real now. If we deflect a rocket back at Pharah, is it really likely to get us that far? Probably not. And Pharah can also just shoot the ground next to you if she's paying attention. So that's not great. That would feel bad for us. But we dash just straight on to the point when presumably a fair chunk of the enemy team is still alive. So that's a risky maneuver, but nothing really happened to us, so who cares really, right? And now McCree's killed 2 people. We're trying to kill Baby Diva. Baby Diva's a little bit hard to kill. It's okay, we'll forgive. Ooh, the bitrate's gone to shit as soon as anything more than one entire particle effect is on the screen at a time. So I managed to capture the objective. Feels good, man. And now we're going to go off to play a little bit more aggressively, because, you know, we're playing Genji, so that's fair enough. This UI color looks good. I like this. Anyway. So they have a Winston. This is inconvenient for us as Genji. It's not the end of the world. You don't have to change off a Genji just because there's a Winston. But we do have to, like, play around the fact they have a Winston. We don't have any right to still be alive, so we saw him throw the trap down. I thought we did. The video quality's not great, so it's a little bit hard to tell. Yeah, he threw the trap down right there, so we just, like, jumped directly where he threw the trap, which is, ooh, he's using the tire. So feels bad. I wouldn't recommend that one. The safe play is just to dash away, but I guess we might as well try and kill the tire, because otherwise he probably kills other people and results in us having to reset regardless. But whatever. Yeah, when you're fighting Junkrat, it's important to pay attention to where he throws the trap, because we did just land, like, squarely on it. This UI color reminds me of, like, what it looked like before the game launched. You remember, like, those really early trailers? This is kind of like what the UI looked like. There weren't even, like, bronze borders around your portrait or anything back then either. Dark times, dark times. Man, Overwatch used to be so weird. Remember when Mercy's ult was could just res everybody that was dead on her team, and it made Mercy invulnerable for a little while? Oh my goodness. Why did we think that was okay? Remember when we then changed it so that Mercy could res somebody ult and then res somebody else immediately afterwards in a span of a couple seconds, so basically emulate what she did with her regular res most of the time? But also then get this sick buff? Man, what were we thinking? Remember the time before Doomfist was added to the game? Anyway, let's start the game back up again, rather than reminiscing about the olden times. So we've got Dragon Blade, and their Zenyatta has just used his ultimate. That was their Zenyatta, right? We don't have a Zenyatta. No, they have a Zenyatta. I saw him in the kill feed. So we don't have to worry about that fucking us up in the near future, which is convenient. Our Mercy is currently dead. And our other healer is Lucio, so we're not gonna... Oh no, we got 3 healers, because I heard Lucio use his ultimate, but we've also got a Moira over there, so we got 3 healers right now. Whatever, who cares? So we do start using our ultimate right now. I would hesitate to do so, because both of their healers are already dead. Because they just both got fucking murdered right there by Deadeye. So at this point, and then Diva gets popped out of her mech as well. So at this point, like, we don't really need to use Dragon Blade to win the fight, seeing as they've lost their healers, which is pretty much a death sentence for your team. Junkrat's probably going to throw his trap down pretty close to him when he's standing up in, like, this kind of location, so... We actually saw it very briefly when we, like, mantled over the ledge and then walked on it as well. But, like, it's not too surprising his trap's up there, really. You gotta be cautious when you jump on the Junkrat that he isn't just, like, sitting next to a trap when you dash to him. What was I saying? Alright, so we probably won the team fight because they lost both their healers, so we could have just saved Dragon Blade for the next team fight instead. Because we still have to, like, push it down the entire street, which is a bit of an... a bit of a tiresome process. Ooh, managed to bounce a roar back at her. I hate when that happens. Feels bad, man. Yeah, so you could have saved Dragon Blade. I know I restarted that thought about 3 times, but I'm an easily distracted man. So we want to try and kill Mercy, but Mercy's already dead, so we don't have to worry about it anymore. Nice. Things were getting a little bit scary in there, but we started getting healed, and Zarya's not exactly high charge, so it didn't end up mattering very much. She is, like, a little bit too far away for us to really want to, like, right-click her, because we're probably only going to hit her with one of them. Zarya isn't that big as far as the tanks go, so you kind of need to get, like, really close to her to actually get, like, the fan to hit all of the shots. Because she's no big boy. She's no Roadhog or Winston or anything. So Winston's basically dead at this point. Like, he's not dead yet. He's gotten away now. We could have, like, gone a little bit harder for this boy than we did. Because we sort of hesitate, then we kind of, like... I think we thought he died. And then kind of gave up on it and went, oh, wait, hold on. Fuck. And then he kind of gets away from us. It's alright, we got Dragon Blade now, so we're just going to come over here and try to kill Mercy. Winston is still right here, though. So... And then Moira also... Oh, what did all that damage to us, though? Because we did just take a lot of damage real quickly, didn't we? It wasn't Junkrat, we didn't get, like, blasted. Who did that? Oh, it has to have been Junkrat, doesn't it? I guess so, because we do just take, like, a real big spike of damage in there. I guess it has to be Junkrat. Just kind of can't see the explosion happen. Has to have been him, though. There's nobody else on their team that could have done it. Winston is a little that right there. That makes it a little bit spooky, but I mean, you can usually kill a healer through before Winston can, like, actually threaten to kill you with Nano of Dragon Blade. So then you can just dash away. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about that one. I thought I did, but then, no, not really. So, fight's still happening in our absence. We do have 3 healers, so it makes it kind of hard to, like, fully wipe the team, because, you know, it's a lot of healies, as it turns out. Deflecting a Mercy isn't a super exciting use of company resources. Ooh, what a bold play. Here comes Reinhardt. So, we did just see the tire coming from this direction. So it's not a good idea to be backing up into it because, well, it stands to reason if the tire came from that direction, Junkrat's probably over in that direction as well. So we end up backing into him. What a fool. What a fool he was. Oh, yeah, there we go. So we've got half a Dragon Blade built up again now. Oh no, a Boostio, how inconvenient. Yeah, let's just leave. Okay. It was a little bit awkward, but he just kind of, like, stopped chasing us, I guess, so that's cool. That's very convenient for us. We're, want to be careful because, yep, that's exactly what I was about to talk about, because we saw Junkrat firing, and he came over here before, and he's behind us right now, so he can quite easily come up from behind us again, and he indeed did so. Walk around the trap, okay, don't break the trap, now he doesn't know we're here. That was scary as hell. I wouldn't have got... We just saw the trap was over there. Oh. Fuck, that was sad. Alright, so we've got Dragon Blade built up now. That's cool. Dragon Blade's a cool ultimate. Kills many mans. Their Mercy, their fucking diva, is pretty far up, and she's ended up losing her mech. Now she's ended up losing her life. Now Lucio's lost his life. We killed a lot of people. We cut those mans real good. Oh, he got away from us. Oh, he's alive. No, he's dead now. Okay, great. Good times, good times. Oh, look, here comes Diva. She's back now. Here comes Lucio. He's back now as well, because they're fast people. Very inconvenient, I know. We can bully around Reinhardt, seeing as he's on his way back, and oh no. Oh, and then we dashed into the black hole. You know, black hole's pretty strong. Even light can't get out of it. But I mean, if light's so fast, how come it's never caught a ninja, right? So Genji, you know, it stands to reason you should be able to get away from it. But no, cannot do so, sadly. So we're most of the way back up to having Dragon Blade. Zarya's got her ultimate, so it'd be pretty sick if we got to combo those for this next push. Moira's using her ultimate down there somewhere. It's a very, very risky play to dash forward while we were that low health, and then we end up dying. Because we decided to keep going forward after we took the damage, and like we're only going to a small health kit, which is no guarantee of safety, when we could have tried to dash out instead, which is the less aggressive play. The less aggressive play is generally going to have, never going to have, like, catastrophic results. I really like the color of the UI. It contrasts quite nicely. So we've used Dragon Blade, and it didn't really amount to too terribly much. We dashed after Moira. Yeah, we killed Moira. That's kind of it, really. I guess there's nobody else around to really kill with it. They have a lot of tanks, so that's inconvenient, really, because they're not super convenient for killing. And now we're going to change to Sombra, because she's a faster hero than Genji is. I don't think we get back. We might get back. Remember when not everybody could see your teammate's silhouettes through the walls as well? Oh god, those were some dark times, weren't they? You know, it only took us 2 years to get there, but we did get there in the end. I'm not particularly excited about hacking a Junkrat, because Junkrat usually isn't that bothered that he got hacked. I'd rather try and hack a tank or one of the healers instead. Because, I mean, Junkrat is still playing Junkrat, ultimately, whereas if you hack a tank, then suddenly they're basically just not playing the game for the next 6 seconds. Which is a really long time to not be playing the game anymore. You know, in League of Legends, the longest crowd control effect in the game is only 3 seconds. And yet over here we have an entire fucking 6-second crowd control effect, which seems like absolute madness. Especially when you consider how much more fast-paced this game is. I've been playing a lot of League of Legends lately. As you know, I might have noticed by the fact that I keep talking about it. It's a good game. It's actually a very bad game. But I like it, you know. It's easier than Dota, which I've tried on several occasions to play, but fuck, Dota's hard to get into, man. Even with, like, the built-up knowledge of having played, like, 3 other MOBAs. Dota's a hard fucking game, dude. Mostly it's just you have to learn what every character does, which is hard. Especially when, like, a lot of Dota heroes, they just kind of walk up to you, and then you explode. And you don't really know, like, anything that happened to you. It's just like, these particles came at you, you're gone now. And that feels bad. Anyway, whatever, who cares? We're playing this game right now. It's, a much simpler game. So we've managed to get trapped in front of them, which feels real bad. We did see him throw it down, didn't we? Yep, we did, and then we didn't try actively enough to get away from it, so we died. Which, you know, it's never really going to feel good. It's never going to feel particularly good to die, unless you're playing Junkrat and drop your passive on top of the Bastion, in which case you're like, But that's it. You know, every other death is going to feel mostly bad. So a lot of our team are dead right now, so we've lost that checkpoint. Such is life. We got picked off right at the start, so obviously that isn't very conducive to a healthy team environment. But everybody kind of got wrecked, it looked like, so it's not necessarily super likely Genji's going to change that outcome. It was a very bold play, but it worked out swimmingly. So, but however, now we do have to get away from the rest of them also. So, like, this is all very scary right here. This already went, like, way better than it really had any right to. We should just leave after that, because we were pretty lucky to get away with that one. But it looks like we were like, I could get that Widowmaker too. It's a bit greedy to go for that one. And, like, killing them up there doesn't even necessarily get us that much, because they're kind of, like, right next to their spawn right now, so killing them isn't necessarily super impactful, because it doesn't take them very long to get back. It takes us a while to get back, though. That's why this checkpoint's such a fucking nightmare to defend, is that, like, this is the longest walk back in the entire game, I think, because I remember seeing this whole, like, fucking spreadsheet about how long it takes for you to get back to the front line, assuming you're a hero with no movement abilities, right? So it's just like Mercy walking along. And Numbani was something like 28 or like, it was somewhere between like 28 and 35 seconds to get back, if I recall correctly. And then the next closest one after that was King's Row's second checkpoint, which was slightly shorter, but it's still very fucking long. So, also, it's just like not a great defensive location. There's a lot of places for people to come at you from. The attacking team has like a lot of options. So the thing is why you see most teams kind of stall out right here, even though it doesn't make a lot of sense because their spawn is right here. This is where the attacking team has the least options on the checkpoint. I see people get stuck out here quite frequently, even though conventional wisdom's like, well, their spawn is right there. People are also just fucking bad and like can't, like, here's a tip for you on Numbani, right? You keep getting killed when you walk out that spawn, go out the left door. That's why they have fucking multiple exits out of the spawn, so like that kind of situation can't happen. Because I've been in the positive end of this and the negative end of this, where one team is just sitting outside the doorways like, hey, walk out that really narrow, long hallway. Hey, come on, guys, come on. Don't do it. Go out the left door and walk up the street. Problem solved. No longer are you funneling out the death corridor. It's a little bit too forward thinking for the most of the Overwatch community, though. So what can you do, right? So a lot of our team are dead right now. Junkrat Tire, you know, kind of does that usually. Coalescence killed a couple people too. We've got Dragon Blade, but what's that team called? I think that was bad. A brief glimpse I got of it. Oh, it's real bad. Oh, no. Oh, no. Only healers baguette. So I think we can see why we changed to Moira, because, oh boy, that's a bad team comp right there. Doesn't necessarily impact us too much. Like, Genji isn't particularly bothered if the healer is only like Bridget, because usually Genji's behind the enemy team anyway. So it, kind of ends up not mattering a lot of the time. But the rest of our team will be pretty upset about it. So Moira, you know, Genji players are pretty afraid of trying to fight Moira, because Moira can be difficult to kill. But as someone who played a lot of Moira, I can tell you, Genji's probably the person that kills me the most. Because he finds me in this situation, where I've used Fade, so now I can't get away from Genji for the next few seconds, and then the Genji just walks up to me and goes, right click, and then I die, if he's, like, good at aiming it, right? Because, like, once Moira's used Fade, it's really hard to get away, and, like, the right-click does a lot of damage. Moira's not going to kill you quickly, right? Like, it takes Moira a while to actually kill someone, because she only does 50 damage per second. So if you just, like, really confidently go up to the Moira and go click, click, stab. Maybe you can throw the stab in there, but, like, she dies. She dies pretty quickly. She can't get away right now, so we could go a little bit more aggro on this boy. I can tell you, Genji is probably the person that kills me the most, especially if he also manages to deflect my orb, because, I mean, get fucked, right? But if you see a Moira as Genji, or Tracer as well, the most annoying thing you can do is just, like, really confidently go up to that Moira, because you will kill her faster than she will kill you, provided you execute well. Because I think that's what people are afraid of, like, well, if I don't execute this really well, the Moira will just out-sustain me, which is true, but I mean, you can also always just leave with the dash, right? But, like, yeah. If, like, the Genji comes up to me and fights me really aggressively, I'm like, go away, please stop, go away. I can only dash once every 6 seconds, so this is very inconvenient for me. So here's Junkrat. There goes Junkrat. Bye, Junkrat. Optimistic. Ooh. Ah. At least only we died? You know, so there's that. Oh no, D.Va died as well. Tragic. Tragic. Truly tragic. I mean, basically, the argument is just don't be in that position to begin with, because things went downhill real fast after we got into that one. So now we've entered the Moira segment. We're playing Moira for the rest of the game, which is a little under 4 minutes. So, we could still win. You know, they gotta get it pretty far down this checkpoint. I find this is how a lot of games on Numbani go, where one team will push it reasonably far down this road, and then the other one can't get it that far down the road. Because this is, like, the second hardest point to push on the map, outside the first one. So, a lot of people just died on their team. Feels good, man. Trapped there, so we don't really want to go up. We do have armor on us right now, but I mean, if you don't get to use the armor during a fight, it's not super exciting to have it unless you're a hero with shields. Like, Zarya and Zenyatta with shields is, like, fucking depressing to try and fight. Because you can't chip the armor off before the fight starts, right? Which is the main drawback to having, like, a buildup of armor like this, is if they just chip it off you before the fight starts, it's like you never had the armor to begin with. Whereas if you just have, like, the rally happening during the fight, hey, the armor's gonna get at least some value out of it. But, if you're playing like someone like Zenyatta or Zarya, or Symmetra, the armor's under your shields, so it's a lot harder to chip it off before the fight begins. So, D.Va's gone way too fucking far up. Do not fade to get to somebody who's in a bad situation, because something happened to put them in a bad situation. So if you fade up to the person in a bad situation, you have gone closer to the danger using your only escape, which can very easily put you in a bad situation. If someone's really far away from you and they need healies, just throw the orb at them instead, because that'll probably save them if they're savable, and it didn't put you in a scary position. So, don't fade up to people who are in danger, because that usually puts you in a bad spot. Ooh, we immediately regretted that decision, and then walked back out again. Somebody else was in there, but I guess they left. Oh, this is not a good use of company resources, because their team is currently still regrouping. Oh, fuck, Anna. Yeah, she was the one who was in there, wasn't she? She went all the way up, jumped out the balcony on our head, and then ran back down the street again. So, hey, that's an exciting journey she's been on. Feels bad, Junkrat. Feels bad. So again, we just used our fade in, like, a really scary way. Because there's a fight happening out here, and we just faded out the door, which can very easily end in sadness. Did we know that boy was really low health? We can infer. We can infer from the position he was in over there that we should probably be paying a little bit more attention to him when that's happening. Because we really don't want Reinhardt to die, if at all possible. But the fight's still going well, regardless, so that's also fine. We're kind of low on our resource right now, so we really don't want to... Damn, feels bad. I've had the orb bounce like that before. We want to just kind of let it regen. Hopefully we can get the good suck on someone. Junkrat was helpful enough to oblige. So they've only got 60 seconds left right now. We've got a lot of ultimates. We've got Coalescence and Earth Shatter, so that's scary. Reaper's almost got his, and Bastion's got his. So, ideally, this should be enough, so, from now. I'm not super excited about using the orb like that, because it's a really long cooldown, and we only used it to heal one person, who we could have just put the regen on them, and that would have healed them back up to full before the fight started. Whereas then we put our orb on cooldown for 10 seconds, which is definitely long enough to be sad. He just lost his ult, didn't he? Yeah, he did. That feels bad, man. Ooh, we managed to avoid his ultimate. Oh no, they're purple. Oh, that's just simply tragic. And he's running after Bastion. We throw the healing orb after him while we carry on worrying about these people. Bastion's pretty hard to kill, so I would be more concerned with the person over here than Bastion, because he's generally... we threw the orb to him, plus his own heal. That should be good enough. We have run out of resource. This is very sad. Did we need to use all of the resource that we did use? Didn't need to hold it on that boy for as long as we did. We're even doing it right now when he's fine. That person's out of range, I'm pretty sure. Did that actually hit them? Yeah, that person's out of range, so we didn't use much health. We didn't get a lot of value out of holding down left click over there. Ooh, that's a bold play. If that Reinhardt wasn't, like, basically dead, that could have backfired. But he was basically dead, so it works out just fine. And, oh, here it comes. Yeah. Woo, we did it. Victory. Great. Who got play of the game? It was Gongo. Wow. Look at that. Oh, I remember it like it was yesterday. Cool. We did it. Hold on. Let me just take this tab over here. Yes, there was a question in here. Is it necessary to sneak up on someone when diving alone, or is it fine to face them head on? And the answer is going to be, it varies, obviously, but you don't need to sneak up on them, no. It will generally be helpful if you can sneak up on them, because that means they're going to have less time to react to you attacking them. And they're going to be more worried in the future, because you might sneak up on them again. But no, you don't have to. Quite often, you'll see a Genji, like, dash through the enemy team to kill somebody. There's, like, two kind of predominant play styles with Genji, where, like, one style of Genji, really self-explanatory, you just spend the whole time behind them back, like, pressuring them the entire time. But it's possible to play Genji, like, entirely with your team as well, where you just kind of, like, poke at people with the shurikens, because, hey, it's a long-range weapon, right? So you can, like, poke at them from within your team, and then if you see an opportunity to kill somebody, you can dash through them, pick up the kill, then dash back out again. And basically, you just build up ult charge and then make big plays with Dragon Blade while poking from within your team. So, like, if you're going to do that kind of thing, you're not sneaking up on people, you're just, like, dashing through the enemy team to pick up kills and then dashing back out again. So, no, you don't have to sneak up on people. It'll generally make it easier to kill the person if they aren't paying attention, but no, it's not necessary. You can just, like, run straight at people, and that's gonna work as well a lot of the time. So, it depends, you know. If you can sneak up on somebody, that's great, but you don't have to, no. Just because he's a ninja doesn't mean he has to be subtle, because, I mean, he also looks like a fucking Xbox, so, there's that, right? So thank you very much for watching. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you felt I answered your question from the email inadequately, please let me know. I will try to expand further, and I hope you found the video helpful. I missed part of that out. Whatever, who cares? Join the Discord.